Hello, welcome to another Hero Wars video. In this video, I'm going to go over my present strategies. I am going to show you Infinite Dungeon. And more than anything else, the purpose behind this particular approach to the game at the moment, which is to emphasize Dungeon above all other aspects of the game. Particularly because there are certain aspects of the game that yield very little resources. It's not efficient and a complete waste of your time. I will add that for some reason, some people prefer not to be on the strongest guild of a server. They like to lose. They like to have less resources. They like to progress slower. And for some reason, that's fun for them. But thankfully, what is fun for me is to play the game as it's designed to be played to be efficient. That is to resource management. For example, we have the Tournament of Power coming up. Also, we have the events, the Titan events, and I save all of my resources. I have over 1,200 elemental spheres. I also have over, as soon as it decides to pop up, 815 summoning spheres. Never open these unless the game itself incentivizes you to do it. You want to double dip, you want to triple dip, you want to get as many resources that the game gives to you. So there's a lot of stuff that you need to save and use once a month. If you don't, you lose out on tons of resources. And I don't see how that's fun for anybody. Particularly for people who spend money on this game. I rarely do. The fact that if a person is spending money but they're not playing efficiently, all you're doing is making up for what you're already not doing for free, and that just doesn't make any sense. Save your money. You can do these things for free. Okay, so for the last 2 days I have done over 10,000 Titanite, and this is my present goal. I want to get level 120 on all of my Titans. I can do this in 2 months by doing 10,000 Titanite a day, which is very easy to do. And so I'm going to show you now. Now, since my last video, they have added the hero Verdok. Now, this has made Earthroom easy. In fact, as I will show you, it's absolutely free, it's damageless, and so you can make Earth your priority. It's a free room. Take it every single time, even at max room difficulty. Okay, so first I'm going to show you my builds, where I'm at, so you know that the results that I'm getting, the outcomes that you see, are based upon these particular builds. So I'm going to take these one room at a time. My Angus is strong, as you can see. I don't care about the health because it doesn't matter. He just needs to be strong enough so that when we do the Earth rooms, he can basically just kill everything in 3 or 4 hits. I'll give more explanation for that in a moment. But I got a 117 Verdok. I did this mainly because of his Earth's Call. I use all 5, so it's this allied Earth Titans deal extra damage equal to 50% of current health. This is going to be relevant for our setup because I'm going to show you how this works. And I can do this room in auto. An auto clear, not auto within the fight, but an instant auto. And it's just done. And as you can see, you don't need any of the artifacts or anything like that. The only reason why I increased the level initially is for the extra damage and extra defense against water titans. Every time you increase attack power, which the potions do, 25% of that is going to be a passive bonus to all of your earth titans. Okay, so my my builds center around. We'll start with fire room. We want to basically get Araji as high as possible because we use them in fire and mixed room, and Araji, we use those two in the fire room, as we shall see. And I don't have to do much with him. All he does is a little bit of a boost every now and then, and I don't have to have him very high, which is quite surprising since I also use them in mixed. But if I wanted to do mixed a little bit quicker, then I can do that. The most important aspect of being able to do this is healing. So we have Sigurd, Hyperion, and Ayari. Now some people use Avalon, I don't. The reason being is that this infinite strategy actually involves absolutely no swapping. You don't have to swap Angus into mix to get him healed. You don't have to run Avalon in mixed. Everything is, as you shall see, requires absolutely no swapping at all. Okay, all right, so we're going to look at the water room titans really quick before you see the outcomes, the results, all of that. You need to see where my guys are at. A lot of videos on YouTube will just sit there and just click and clear the rooms, and what they won't show you is, yeah, but what is the state of your Titan? What did you build? How did you get there so efficiently? So we're going to look at just Sigurd, Hyperion, and Ayari really quick. As you can see, we wanted the extra defense from Fire Titans. This helps keep them alive in the water rooms, also against any Fire Titans that might be in mixed. Health is not as important, but having it high enough so that he doesn't dip too low. Additionally, we want to get Sigurd's artifact weapon as high as possible. I also got his water crown to add additional defense. And as you can see, we don't even need the defense seal to be as high. Hyperion, I don't even have a max star Hyperion, and I can go infinite. All right, so that's not needed. It would be so much easier, as you will see, without needing it. And I don't even have a max balance seal. This physical attack here, this 54,000, this can increase. This could increase his healing. So he's not even at max healing at the moment. Though I do have Hyperion's skins maxed out. Specifically for the frigid healing. Every time you increase the physical attack power of Hyperion, it increases the value of the healing that he can do, 200% of the attack value. Alright, so additionally, Ayari for mixed room. This is kind of my replacement for Avalon. I like the idea. As you can see, I don't even have a 120 level for extra defense, but that's always helpful. And I don't even have very strong physical attack here, which also increases, I should say, the healing. When you increase the physical attack, this beacon of life, this healing per second. So I have her at 120, and I have close to both of her physical skins maxed. I did this specifically because I wanted to emphasize healing in these builds. Okay, one other thing to mention, which is very important. As you can see, my Nova is 111, my Mari is 75. Their ultimates aren't really tied to anything that I need to do. The reason being is right now, for example, if we were to increase Nova, he does extra damage to Fire Titans, but guess what? We don't want to do extra damage to Fire Titans. Okay, so as you can see, his stats are very low. Additionally, Mari, as you can see, Mari stats are very low. We don't need this activation of extra physical attack. Reason being is that there is a sweet spot where the second frigid healing from Avalon. So the way Avalon works is that after about 2 seconds in the match, he gets to a standing point, he hits, then the next move he does is he does the frigid healing, he heals. Then there's a 20-second cooldown. Now, so what that means is right around, I think it's, I'll take a look here for a second. I think it's like a 132 or something. He does his second frigid healing. He does additional healing. But guess what? If you killed them too fast, but and took additional damage and didn't get the second frigid healing, then you could be at a net loss for health. So guess what? Once you get to the point where his second frigid healing occurs, and then a couple seconds later the match ends. Well, guess what? If I killed them just a little bit quicker, I wouldn't get the second frigid healing. So this is very key. You want to get to the sweet spot where it's much easier, as you'll see that we still have to manage Sigurd's health with our present setup. Eventually it's not going to matter because everything's going to be maxed out, but we're grinding out 10,000 Titanite per day. In 2 months we'll be able to max out all of these to 120. I'm not going to adjust Mari or Nova. I'm going to keep grinding because we're probably going to be getting a new Titan. I'm going to guess that it's a Fire Titan that's going to be coming out, our 5th Fire Titan. It's just an assumption on my part. And I want to make sure I can get him to 120 as soon as I can. I'm not sure how that's going to change the infinite dungeon, but as you'll see, we're still low enough in the dungeon where we don't have to worry about the health of Razir Ignis. This will probably change in the future, but it's not going to be too relevant. So just out of 2 or 3 days or so, or I'll say about a week of just doing dungeon a lot, we already have 324 million gold. Don't have to worry about gold at all, but one of the benefits of actually doing this is that we can come in here to heroes, we can select a hero, and guess what? We have all the gold we want. So we're going to max out all of the skills. And yes, you need level 120 to be able to max out the skills to 120 on the top ones. But guess what? Because we have all this gold several times a day, we could just purchase every single thing that uses gold as currency. All of these big potions, and eventually we're just gonna have completely maxed out leveled heroes, maxed out hero skills, all because you just did dungeon. We also used the once a day we can get these additional skin stones in the VIP shop. And once again, we have so much gold and are going to have so much gold that it's really not an issue anymore. We're never going to need gold again. And once my Dorian's maxed out, guess what? That's going to be extra soul stones that I could use in these soulstone shop, and we can get more keys, and so we can start building faster the artifacts of the heroes. So amazing potential for growth by utilizing this method. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the dungeon, because that's probably what you've been waiting for. It's been 15 minutes. All right, so I've already so what I'll do is I'll look at the members here, look at the stats, go to Titanite. As you can see, the last 2 days we've done over 10,000 Titanite, and we already have 2,600 Titanite today. But we can do 10,000 Titanite for 2 months, and we can max out everything. But like I said, I'm going to keep my Nova and Mari right where they're at, even though I have the resources to get them to 120. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay in the sweet spot, and then I'm going to build up enough stones. Sorry, not stones. Yes, the Titan skin stones and fairy dust. So I can increase my Hyperion and my Sigurd, bypassing. You got to store up, and so that you can do a single dump, preferably during a tournament of power, spreading out that build over the course of those 3 or 4 days, because you want to get the max amount of stuff that it's offering you. And then just completely jump over the net loss zone. All right, so we're going to go in here and just go ahead and jump right in here. Activate that. As you can see, every time I finish 5 rooms, or however many it is, I'm getting over 700,000 gold. So it does add up. Okay, so first things first is 252. Okay, as you can see, we have a max Earth room. And take special notice, we're running all 5, but what you need to do is set up where your Angus, as soon as it begins, it's going to activate and it's going to kill all the 3. I'm actually going to just go to the battle here so you can see what's happening when we hit auto. Alright, so we're going to get Angus going. Kills all of them. Nobody takes damage. Nobody else gets to put in a hit. And it kills the Earth Titans, the Water Titans, at just the right times where we end up with max health again. So every time we hit auto, that's exactly what happens. So we'll come back to that in a minute, because we definitely want to set that up. As you can see, we also have max difficulty on Fire Room with 252 and 118 in Mixed Room. At the present time, I've been trying to prioritize Mixed. I end up getting healing. Maybe not if there's a Hyperion. Earth here is a priority. Unless, of course, there's a water room that doesn't have the Raji, because you're always going to get extra heals on your Sigurd. But we can just come into the fire room. Now, here's the thing. When you first start out at the beginning of the day, auto, even if you got Angus to max energy, auto isn't going to work. Reason being is, for some reason, the Water Titans, they either are dying too fast, or they're not dying in a manner that's stacked. So for whatever reason, Angus will activate again before the end of the match. So he ends up taking health. So what you want to do, and as we've looked at before, Verdok does that 15% extra damage, this passive skill, depending on the health of Angus, or the health of a particular guys. So you got to get your Angus down to about 30 to 40% of his health. Have him at max energy, and the other 4 Titans not at max energy. This is going to take you a little while to set up, but once you do, you can just do these auto battles. Done. Just like that. You can do that all day. Okay. As you can see, my fire room is not at max. It's only at 138. We do not emphasize these. I have seen that even at max, maxed out Araji and maxed out Ignis in this room, if this room is maxed out, Araji and Ignis, they're going to be taking damage, but we run them in mix, so that they will get healed, but you will want to make sure that you're not they weren't at full health going in there anyways. But yes, we do want to do the water over fire. Fire is the last priority. Last priority. Alright, let's do a few rooms here. Earth, as I explained, as long as you did what I told you and do the setup, it's absolutely free. Nobody takes damage. If there's a Hyperion, I probably won't choose it because he damages everybody. But as you can see with the info here, only as you can see from this green line here next to Hyperion, he's only getting 1 frigid healing in that matchup. The reason being is that in the sweet spot, the second frigid healing usually will only occur when there is a Moloch, because then the match lasts long enough. But it's quick enough, the match is quick enough that it does not occur when you don't have Moloch. And also based on the stats that I have, I do have to watch my health. I do have to watch my Sigurd. Okay, that's a freebie, auto. Okay, health is still looking good on Sigurd. Another freebie. Nice, okay. No, it's free and damageless. Alright, I'm going to go for the mixed room here. That's good. Okay, also I want to talk about mixed room when we get to it. I'll just take these absolutely free and damageless rooms. Thank you very much. Okay. Now there are instances where I just think that the I might think that the health is getting a little low. I might switch over to do a manual match. In which case we use the usual strategy by stacking our abilities. And I'm going to use the extra healing here at the end, but I'm also going to make sure that the Sigurd is not all the way ready to execute. We want him to be executing during the Iraji ultimate. Okay. Alright, so in the mixed room, as you can see, I'm using Ignis and Iraji. So this is where they're gonna get their heals from any damage that they take in the fire room. Also, same thing with Hyperion and Sigurd. Those are my healers that also are used in water and mixed. And then I have a Yari that's only being used here, who does massive healing and massive energy increases, usually just keeping Sigurd afloat. You'll never have to change the setup. It works perfect, and you can continue to increase your Araji power and Ignis to be able to defeat this room faster. But right now, I'm definitely in this spot where, as you can see with Hyperion, he's got over 3 million heals. He probably did a second frigid healing. I'm gonna guess maybe he didn't, but look at this healing overall. We have over 5 million health that is being healed, and it's also important to note at this point that at the present time with Hero Wars Mobile, we can do the infinite dungeon still. Now, it's very possible, and I don't know if this will occur, but it's something that could occur. And that is, unlike the web / Facebook version, which has what is called Dungeon Damnation, which the deeper you go in the dungeon on a particular day, it's going to curse you so that you cannot heal as much. And eventually that strengthens down to about your healing at 0 and your guys die. Your Titans will die. And so right now, before something like that ever kicks in, is a great time to grind out level those potions. Because once your potions are completely built up, guess what you can do? You can buy these Sparks of Power, and you have the gold, so now you can completely do the Heart of Power for absolutely every single one of your heroes, and you'll just never have to touch that stuff again until they release another hero. You're gonna have all the resources that you want. So you'll have, for by doing dungeon, you're gonna end up with full leveled heroes, full gifts of the elements heroes, full skills heroes, all because you focused on dungeon. All right, let's go back in here. All right, I think I'm going to emphasize this one here. Now, I am under the impression that the green health bar, see, we got some extra healing there. You notice how it jumped up. That this green health bar is very weird. It almost seems like the first half of the health bar, from right to center, represents more health than center to left. I don't know why that is the case. That green bar, I do not think is very accurate, in my opinion. As you can see, auto just completely wipes out at such a low level. Room. Just do another auto here. Double check all your stuff, because there's things that can happen. What is interesting is that there is this anomaly that occurs. It doesn't occur very often in the water room, where you'll do auto, and maybe we can catch it on video here, and Nova took damage. For some reason, every now and then, Nova's starting position is such that when Moloch attacks, it also damages Nova. I think there's also instances when an enemy Titan dies, your water titans begin to take a few steps forward. And when they do this, if Sigurd activates his ultimate, I think it's possible that Nova ends up taking a few steps forward, and then there's this period of time where if Raji's doing the lava blast in your face, that Nova ends up taking that until Sigurd gets back in line. So he ends up taking damage. Those are two ways I think that this is occurring. But I don't want that to occur. Also, notice that I've cleared dungeon level 12,950. This loot of 10. It used to be 9, now it's 10. I believe once I get to dungeon room 20,000, the game will no longer give you this loot. It'll just say completed down here, and you just won't get anything else here. I'm guessing that's the case because by the time you get to level 20,000, room 20,000, you have all the Titanite and resources to have used potions on all of your Titans, and so it really doesn't need to give you these anymore at all. In fact, all of my Titans are max star, except for Verdok. When he was first released, I got to 4 or 5 stars. But basically every single time I open one of these spheres, all it's giving me is more of the currency, and eventually I'm not going to need that currency for anything. I suppose the only thing is that the Titan Soul Stones would give you the Titan Soul Coins, and then I suppose what one could do after they've done all their Sparks of Power, they can buy potions, and then they can trade potions for a horn, a golden horn. But to be quite honest, I have been in a guild where we get all of the Hydras dead, and I got 37 golden horns. If anyone's in my guild and they want an extra attack or something, that'd be fine. But we end up killing all of these, absolutely. So it's not even needful at all in the slightest. All right. So we're just gonna chill for a little bit, and I'll do some comments. If you go up against a mixed room that has, and I'll actually exit out so that we can take a look. Okay, if we go up against a mixed room that has, I'll start this way. They just recently added Verdok to the dungeon, and we only see him in the mixed room. He has not been added to the fire room as a 4th Titan. We still see a 3 Titan team. We may see Verdok, but he's going to be one of 3. I don't know if they're ever going to change that eventually, because if we have 5 Titans, it kind of makes sense that eventually maybe they will increase the power limit of these rooms or add in an additional Titan, though I think it would be interesting to go against a 4 Titan team in the fire room. Okay, so anyways, there's gonna be times when you see Eden or Hyperion, you may end up taking damage across here. So my main concern when I watch this, particularly when I see that one of two things, is the Ignis health. It's not impossible for him to lose all his health. I haven't seen it, but it seems possible to me if we have the right set of variables. So we have our free room. And yes, my Angus's health is low there, but he never loses health. We lowered it specifically to set up this strategy. Okay. Another mixed room there. Absolutely free. Got another Hyperion. And sometimes everything heals up just right, and the only evidence that Hyperion hit anybody is our Ayari there, who's a little low on health. And of course, even though I've been kind of emphasizing the priority for a mixed room, we don't see an Araji here in the water room, and so we're just going to go ahead and do that one because we almost always end up getting heals there. 3000 Titanite. Do I even need to say that this is free anymore? Okay, I'll try this out. Full health, we're good. And again, over 5 million heals. And this basically stabilized this Sigurd, who took 5 million, but we healed more than that. So we actually have a net gain of health, or he keeps his health. That's good. Free. Well, still good on the health. And no Nova issues. No Nova issues yet. I want to make sure that we can get that captured. Yep, that's the Hyperion there. You can see the lowered health on the non-Sigurd Titan. But it heals right back up, which is nice. With our present stats, it works well. So as you can see, our health dropped quite a bit there. And not only that, we're looking at what I think is one of the potentially worse setups. In this case, Sigurd ended up taking over 4 million damage. But we didn't get a second Frigid Healing. So we have a net loss of health here. And as you can see, there's no Moloch. Alright. Remember I said earlier, when you have a Moloch in there, it's more likely to get that second Frigid Healing. And that's going to be key. Okay. Now let's say I don't like this outcome. I can go ahead and just retry because Sigurd's health can get quite low. I'll wait till he dies. Do this. Alright. So I'm happy with that outcome. I've been experimenting with like only getting about 40%. That might be anywhere from 30 to 40% of Sigurd's energy built up. I don't have stats for it. It just seems to me that is good. It just seems to align well with the auto. Okay. Now, someone might ask, can you create a mouse click script for this game? Per dungeon, like once you get to this point, instead of doing 10,000 Titanite by poking at a screen or mouse clicking on a desktop, which I'm doing now, I'm using LD Player to access the game. Is there a way to do that? And I suppose that there is, but without being able to choose the rooms, which is why we prioritize certain rooms over other rooms. Like, let's say at a mouse click program where I always do whatever's on the right, and I end up doing a lot more fire rooms. Well, the Titan power in fire rooms is probably low enough. It's not really going to be an issue. I don't need to needlessly increase that power strength. So some people will do a macros where it'll scan certain parts of the screen. It'll have you can schedule in or program a kind of schedule list. Not schedule. I don't know why I keep using the word schedule. Establish, program a pixel color check where it could basically just run those priorities for you. That's probably beyond the reach of some people to either program or to get set up. It's fine. This actually gives me something to do with my time, so it's not that big of a deal. But as you can see, everything runs pretty smoothly. We just unlocked another ton of these bad boys. 825. Free. Now you will notice that Avalon here, Avalon's energy actually fluctuates. It's the reason being is that Avalon is actually killing or attacking during this auto, but we don't get any healing from this. Like when we get to another Earth room, we'll take a look. His energy is going to be lower, which means he executed, but there's not going to be any healing because it just ends too soon. The very last hit ends up being Avalon. Okay, as you can see, our health dipped here. I always try to be mindful of what was going on. Lots of healing. In fact, the funny thing is did you see? Okay, here first let's establish this. Okay, so we healed for about 3.8 million. We took 4.2 million. All right, so all we did is take a hit for 400,000. Okay. Here, I'm gonna redo this. Alright. Look at this bar on Sigurd. Health bar down the bottom left there. Now watch. Look at that. Look how much his health, that green bar moved. Just because he took literally one hit. It's just crazy that this bar, it just doesn't seem to be very helpful in terms of what's going on here. Same thing here. He's literally just taking one hit, but look how far it drops. It's just absolutely crazy. It's just, I guess it's useful, but it's also not very useful. So in this case, we actually healed more than the damage we took. And look how far. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. This bar just doesn't tell you much. All right, so we have 2.8 million heal. So literally all it did is just increase by 400 to 500,000, and look what it did to the bar. Remember, this thing was like half. That's just ridiculously huge given the amount of health that he has. So in my mind, if the bar goes up, we net a healing. If the bar goes down, we've a net loss. It's just absolutely crazy. But now, of course, you could always just throw in a fire room here if you wanted to. If for some reason you had a couple Hyperions in a row, and I suppose it's very possible that the stars can align where your Ignis is taking more damage. Here is our... I'm going to turn up the music a little bit. So hopefully you can still hear my voice. We're just in chill mode now. If I can think of other things to say, I'll add them in, but we need to just sit here and grind. Kind of invite you into my daily routine right now while we're working on these plans. Okay, check out Avalon. Remember we were noting that Avalon's energy bar was high? Avalon actually executed, but we don't get any heal because what happens is as soon as Avalon hits, it's killing the last Titan. It's triggering the end. And he gets this extra energy boost. I think it's because of Verdok, perhaps, but it doesn't affect the setup. It doesn't influence the outcomes at all. Grind efficiently here. Yeah, I don't want the Hyperion. That makes me wonder if we could see what the health of Sigurd is at this very moment. And I don't know if there's a way to actually see that. Like a numerical value. Prioritize Earth because it's free and damageless. I can't emphasize that enough. Just set it up and you're good. Just alright, so he died, so we're going to take a look at what's going on. Go ahead and just do auto here. Ah, I see what's going on. Okay. Let's see, how much health did he have on that? The green bar. Green bar is less than half, and he's dying here. But we have a way out, thank goodness. Not crazy. It's a combination of certain factors, because when you do auto, you have to understand that the trigger of the ultimates in the time span of the fight it can align just right. Now, this is... Alright, let me think about this for a second, because this is the first time that I've had to deal with this, where everything is aligned just right, where this isn't good. Sigurd energy is low. Ayari. I did 10,000 yesterday, 10,000 today, and I think this is the first time that I'm running into this issue. Ayari's low. That's problematic. I think I'm gonna have to do this manually. I need to figure out how to have this not die. I'm gonna take out auto off. Actually, I want to save this blast. Let me think for a second. Alright, Angus will take out Nova and Hyperion. I honestly have not had to do this the last 2 days, so this is instructive. You can see my reasoning. Alright, and I'm going to delay Araji, because Araji is going to rip through Burdock and Avalon. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Angus first. Alright, now hit. Trigger. Okay. I don't like this outcome, because I think I didn't need to do that trigger. Alright, man, I gotta fix this. Alright, we're gonna have to do a Yari right there. Get the healing. Trigger, come on. Okay, I think we could do this. It's on the edge. This is just so fascinating. Alright, let's see if we can align this better. Right here. Heal. We're gonna do a preemptive. Use this to trigger. Okay. Okay, now we wait to do a frigid healing. Okay, there we go. Alright. Having to stretch my brain here for a second. You can see how this works. Alright, we're gonna do auto, see what the results are, but we're gonna shield, then we're gonna layer this right there. Then we're gonna wait. We don't want the smack, go, counter that. Okay, very good. Here, do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the shield there, and then we're gonna go off, counter the ultimate. Okay. Alright, now we gotta fix the Angus issue, because we had to survive that mix room. This is going to take some time to fix. Okay, we got that. And hopefully Sigurd's health is not Sigurd, Angus's health is not too low to be able to do what we need to. Alright, let's get back in here. We're not getting the second frigid healing. It didn't look like. Go ahead and debuff. Go ahead and shield here and get ready with Nova. There we go. We don't like Vulcan. As soon as they come out of stun, we're going to debuff. There we go. We'll just go ahead and do another shield. Then we'll just wait. That was crazy. Now, our rooms are not advancing in difficulty at all. Actually, we've made a mistake. We kept Angus in there. We don't want that. Alright, now we're back in business. Alright, so you got to see an example of when things can go wrong with the right factors, where you're going to have to use a manual to make it work. Bam. We are back to square one. I'm glad that you were here for this. I'm glad you were here for this. That's me having to put my brain power into work. And you can see how it's done. To clutch victory from the mouth of defeat. Let's see. I think we just took too much damage. I'm gonna take a look at the result over here. Not much better, but we're over half green line, so we should be able to survive anything. Now let's see if this still works. Alright, this doesn't still work. Alright, so Earth Room requires a very specific amount. Let's see what's happening here. Alright, I think Angus needs a little bit more health to get back into that zone. Alright. Now, it's not that big of a deal. We just need to... excuse me. Throw Angus back into the mix room. See if we can get him healed a little bit. Because, like I said, I think 30 to 40% health seems to be the sweet spot with my stats. We'll probably just pull out Ignis and put in Angus. And okay, so Angus is now got a little bit more health. So let's see if we can get this back to a line. So this is actually very instructive as well. You get to see me set up the free and damageless issue. Now, like I said, normally I never have to try to heal Angus or try to finagle the mixed room. Okay, usually everything runs pretty smoothly. I just need to be more careful. Okay, so let's get back in here. Alright, so this is going to be challenging. Like I said, we have to end with Angus with full energy, and the other 4 Titans can't have full energy. So what we'll do is we're going to have to execute that, I think. Okay. So it looks like we've achieved full energy only on Angus. Looks like his health is about 40%. Alright, so let's go back in there and take a look. Just watching outcomes. Watching outcomes. Moment of truth. Alright. That might actually be fine. We'll, it's not quite. He's still got a little too much health. Like I said, there's a sweet spot. And I can go 10,000 Titanite and there'll never be an issue. We had an issue this time because we had to deal with this insane misalignment. Ah, right here. You see? Watch. Nova's taking damage. Now watch. Well, when I go to retry with auto set. This should be what the outcome is. Watch this. Did you see that? Nova just took damage from Moloch. Look at that. So, for some reason in this game, every now and then, it's almost like Nova's starting position is slightly ahead. And I think what's causing it is that Sigurd is executing immediately, which is allowing Nova to take a step forward. So Nova ends up being at this really awkward spot, right? So watch this. Delay. See? Nova takes this extra step forward because Sigurd is executing immediately. But that's only because Nova's walking. Anytime Nova is walking. So we're going to go in here. We're going to do it manually. Probably not that big of a deal. I'll just wait for Nova to... I think if Nova is a girl, I don't know, is that a thing? Here, we'll do a debuff. Wait for that one to die, and then we'll do this. Alright, not executing right away is good, because that could guarantee that we're going to have a Nova issue. Let's just do auto. Okay. This might fit the criteria. This might be 30%. It might be too low. I'm hoping it's not. This could be exactly what we want, okay? So I guess it's not like the easiest infinite. Alright, we are in there. We found the sweet spot. So now our Angus will just infinitely kill them. And that's it. Now we can rifle through. Now all we have to do is watch Sigurd's health. Okay. Easy does it. Isn't that great? I actually ran into this by accident. I noticed that it started doing it. And so I just basically deconstructed the situation, broke it down into the conditions, and then all I had to do was set the conditions. It works so nicely. So once you have the same stats as me, you can get the same results as me by using the same strategies. As you can see, he doesn't take any damage, and we are in the money. Just sit here and just poke at stuff and watch Sigurd's health, watch Nova's health. Don't want any weird Nova shenanigans. Okay, there was an Eden, so we do have some dispersed damage going on. And everything's healed back up. Look at that. Alright, so actually you've got to see me have to pull myself out up from the bootstraps from a very interesting... You guys saw it. It looked like I had 40% of a Sigurd green line. And it still wasn't enough. He died because of this. I believe it was Avalon, Verdok, and Silva. This probably would not have occurred if Verdok was not added. But it almost seems like Verdok is actually taking the place of one of the Super Titans, because it used to be possible that you could have Hiraji, Eden, and Hyperion, and I haven't seen that. So Verdok is actually taking the place of one of the Super Titans in this matchup. But things could go bad if the conditions are just right, where certain ultimates on my part aren't going off at certain times. So it's still possible with the stats that I showed you. It's still possible to die at like 40-50% of the green line. Now we're back to free and damageless here, and Earth. Very beautiful. It's awesome to watch each and every single time. It's just to be able to hit a button and have a room be completely free in dungeon is just really neat. Like no damage. That's not said of any room at all. There's no room where that's said. Alright, I'm still over 50%. Okay, this is fine. This is a heal room. There's no Hiraji. Huh, beautiful. Alright. Still watching that Sigurd. Just gotta babysit that guy. I suppose it's also possible in a fire room where I don't take damage at the moment. Ooh, nice heals. Got that Hyperion in there. Yep. And that does some damage to my Ignis. No Hyperion, and he heals back up, and my Sigurd's good. So there's a constant, like as soon as a match is done, my brain is instantly assessing the outcome. I don't have to worry about Earth right now. Earth is just absolutely free. Hey, look. It's the Silva. See how much health I have. Yeah, see, I have almost full health. I'm gonna wait. Kill him. I didn't have to keep those outcomes. I was just watching. So apparently that matchup can be really bad for us. Yeah. It's very possible. Let's see, we don't have them. Okay, well, we net some health there. Yeah, let's see, for example, at start max, are we taking any damage? Yeah, very minor damage we're actually taking here. So Earth Room is the only room where I never take damage with the proper setup. And like I said, that was a complete anomaly. I mean, the stars had to align in a mixed room for me to have that green line look at 40% and then just completely die to a Silva. Wait a minute, I don't think I've ever seen Angus in mixed room. I think not only is Verdok replacing a Super Titan, I think that he is also making it impossible for there to be an Angus. Like, just watch. It's very possible there is no Angus in the mixed room. I could be wrong. I've been doing this long enough. I don't recall at the present moment that being a thing. It's usually this right here. We see Nova, Avalon, and Verdok a lot. It's just weird. So of course we prioritize the Earth Room because it's free and damageless. Hyperion we went up against, so hit our Ignis back there. Yeah, see, look, Nova, Avalon, Verdok. Got the free room. I don't like having the health, the energy right where it was. Because we almost always end up taking damage. As long as I'm over 50%. This should be good. I chose mix there. I would have chose water room if there wasn't an Araji. Now obviously if you have slightly stronger stats on stuff, you probably don't need to worry as much. Yeah, look at that healing. Man, it's been a while since we've done fire. Yeah, we took almost 1 million damage. Okay, see, we have Nova, Avalon, Verdok. And we have Silva, so we'll see if this is a problem. We did end up taking damage. That's my least favorite energy amount for Sigurd, is that just a little bit of yellow. I don't like it. Usually means we're gonna lose even more. But now I know I gotta keep 50% or more. We had Moloch there. So we most likely got a second Frigid healing. These must align just well. 139. Look at that, 43. Love me green rooms. Give me green rooms all day long. Look at that. Lots of health. I hate that energy. Yeah, see, this wasn't so bad. Going against that Nova, Avalon, Verdok. There isn't, see, because of this, there isn't a lot of variety because we see this so often. So hopefully they make an adjustment. This wasn't, as far as I know, explicitly made public. I think they just all of a sudden one day Verdok appeared and yeah, Nova took a little bit of health but damage, but it doesn't really matter because it's so little. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, look at this. See, Nova, Avalon, Verdok. Throw in Mari Araji. It's just so weird. I don't even know what it's like to use this setup with, say, anyone else. Yeah, I don't care about the outcome. As long as I'm 50% or more, I don't really care anymore. But apparently we need to pay attention if there's 40%. Because if the conditions are right, apparently that's bad. Yeah, I think we're still good. Free room. Baby knife. Yeah, see? Look at these 5 guys. But thankfully, because of the strategy that I presently use with the Araji and Ignis, the mixed room is quite vulnerable to my fire. I'm gonna retry that. I'll just do auto for a moment. Now we do Araji. We'll blast straight through. Do nothing. You'd be surprised how productive doing nothing really is. Yeah, see, we got a Sigurd in there this time. Isn't that interesting? Usually it's Nova and Avalon. Free room. I think they need to change this. This isn't enough variety in mixed room. Oh, who knows? Maybe if we didn't have Verdok in there, maybe my outcomes would be totally different. And yes, I'm assessing the health and energy every single time the stat screen pops up. Before I click on anything, I'll make sure that Nova's not at health, like half health or anything like. Like, see, Nova took some damage there, but that's fine. The walk forward may not have been significant enough. See, I hate that health, where there's only a little bit of, not health, but energy, a little bit of energy. But like I said, yeah, I don't like that. That green line moved too much for me. Let's wait to execute. Okay, heals. Blast right through there. Very good. Let's go ahead and execute that. Do nothing else. Heal. Okay, good. We're looking good. Except for...
We are the Guardians of Dominion.
Are we? You got like a frog in your pocket? A pocket frog. Alright, I don't like the fact that we just dipped, so we're just gonna go and do this manually really quick. Do that, because furthest away does more damage. Do this right away. Wait for the shield to get low, and then stack 40% debuff. Now we're gonna wait for the, right there. The Vulcan. We'll do a debuff. Do a shield. And then when he goes off, we're gonna trigger counter with Nova. I'm fine with those outcomes. Good stuff. See, now we're back up in action. Just gotta pay a little attention. Don't like it. Apparently the this Silva I don't like it. There's 3, there's... What's going on there? Let's look at Verdoc real quick. When there are 3, boost extra defense against Water Titans. Against Water Titans. So if there's 3, it's... Let me think about this for a second. Yes, against Water Titans. This means that if they're doing extra damage, but that's true. I think it really has to do with the initial tank. The initial the front line is usually water, and then if Araji's going off right away, then basically that one just tanks it all and then dies. But if you could just wait, it can melt through 2 Titans. Why kill 1? Right? When you can kill 2. And all you have to do is wait. That's good. Let's do that. Here we go. Keep it going. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be showcased for my present strategy. My present goals. I don't think so. But again, I really want to emphasize that the whole reason for doing dungeon right now is I really don't want to see Dungeon Damnation applied here. If in the next 2 months that doesn't occur, I can get 120 level Titans. Just have that done. Yeah, I saw Silva there, and okay, I don't like this outcome. The nice thing about okay, so watch, I don't know if I'm going to get a second frigid healing. I'm going to assume that we don't. As soon as I can do that, and then do this. Wait till he hits, then do that. That way I don't think that we can get full. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. 129. Yeah, we did then. We actually did get a second frigid healing. Because it happens at like 132. Yeah, 132. So if I'm beating them at 129, it means, yeah, I could probably increase healing / attack power a little bit. And I have been, given those outcomes. Oh, excuse me. All right, just go a few more minutes here. Just kind of show what I've been doing. I'll get to 5,000. How about that? Just kind of show where I'm at, and then as things change, I'll make another video. Just kind of chronicle. I'm making a chronicle of my progress. It could be very instructive for somebody who is trying to build their Titans. They want all the gold. They want all the potions and the soul stones and sparks of power. They want all the stuff that is free. Absolutely free. Anybody could do it. Just look at the stats, work towards the stats. Pause the video, see what those stats are, put together a game plan, and get to this point, get 120 maxed out level Titans. Save the water, of course. It's not needful at the moment. Gotta maintain that sweet spot. How much healing did we get? That's fascinating. We took more damage. Here, just a second. Let me look at this for a second. Look at these numerical values. We have 2.5 9-1. Okay, so it looks like we healed as much as damage we took on Sigurd, right? The exact same amount. Let me look at this for a second. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and green line's the same. I was like, what? Come on, green line. Okay, so I think that's enough. I think everything that happens or could happen to me has occurred in this hour and a half video. So I hope you found this to be instructive. Obviously, once I am done, that's probably gonna be 2 months before I have the, you know, millions and millions of Titan potions that I can use upgrade only during the enough to win the tournament of powers. But anyways, maybe get everything maxed out, leaving the water titans alone, building everything else. Right now my plan is actually not to build anything at all. I'm going to save all my dust. I'm going to save all of my stones, except for maybe I could give Sigurd health. To give an example, maybe I will give Sigurd more health. Doesn't affect anything. It's not a problem. I think I might be able to increase the attack power on Araji a little bit. I don't know how close. See, I liked my outcomes in mixed room, so I probably don't want to mess with too many things because I know it works. What I don't know is, okay, I can start killing things faster in mixed room, but hey, you know that second frigid healing you used to get, you don't get. So it's just really depends on stuff. So I might save for a while on things that change attack power in either mixed room or in water room. So I could get the health here. I could get the Angus. It doesn't matter. I don't care about right now. Let's see, healing. I can increase healing on Ayari. That's fine. It's attack power, but I'm guessing that it's not like a whole bunch. And yeah, I could just leave everything else alone there. And then what I can do, everything's fine. I might leave this alone. Let's see. It's possible I might leave this alone too, though that attack power isn't that much. I'll have to assess. I might be able to do 120 here and still get the second frigid healing. I'll have to do one at a time and watch outcomes. Because once you pass that threshold of never getting a second frigid healing, it's not going to be good for me. So I could probably increase that. I can increase the defense with Ayari. Why not? I mean, that's absolutely perfect. Let me see. Anything else that might be relevant? No, I'm not really going to try to increase a lot of attack power. Just defense. Extra defense from Earth Titans. This might not be bad. Especially given the fact that, at least right now, there's the issue of 3 Earth Titans. So, but anyways, yeah, you just kind of create a game plan. I mean that's what I have. Everything looks fine, and that's it. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you find this hour and a half instructive. I tried to do as much commentary as I can, as opposed to just you watching me hit the auto button, right? I want to give you the in-depth thought processes that I'm undergoing, where I'm at right now. Just kind of catalog this in my journey of working on these things. I think mainly because a month ago, this is the exact video I personally would sit there and watch for an hour and a half, because I would get so much from it. I'm very close to the stats. It's very instructive. It breaks it down for you. You know how to set up the Earth Room. You know how to watch your health now. Keep above 50% health on Sigurd at this level. I especially would absolutely love to get Max Star on Hyperion's weapon and on Sigurd's weapon. But as you can see, 15,000 of those is very far off. But obviously that would be a totally different case. My advice would be slightly different at that time. So once I hit that point, I can make another video, and that could be fun and instructive as well. But for now, probably not going to make another Titan video for 2 months, because you're going to be able to see exactly what I'm going to do for the next 2 months. And then going forward, once I make some more adjustments and things like that, I'll be able to share a little bit more what I plan to do going forward. Particularly, okay, I've achieved this goal. Now, what particular Titan team do I want in Guild Wars? And then maybe just work towards that, you know. To actually be able to pour forward into something that might be a little bit more beneficial. So, all right, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.